Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome back. Today I have you a brand new video continuing my supportive arc. Last week you saw me pocketing Bunny on my White Mage, so today is my White Mage solo experience. Landing 10 kills to 1.3 million damage, and earning a respectable 3.6 million in healing. I shall be covering my experience with this round, with a brand new advanced guide coming later this week. Thank you all for the continued support. Let's jump right into it. Alright, welcome back. Today's demonstration shows the capabilities of the White Mage during a beautiful round of Shatter. And what made this round truly great is not only were there quite a few PvP regulars in this round, I later found out from members of the PvP Discord that I was marked for this match, providing a bigger challenge. My playstyle for this round was to mix aggressive plays, whilst keeping up with the supportive elements. This means using a Flatus Miseri and Seraph Strike together for that quick burst of damage and unlocking Cure Free, which helps keep battle momentum going, with my biggest aim to abuse the busted 40-arm breach of the Limit Break. Another tendency is to throw out Imp on my dive target, or on plays around the 50% health mark. The White Mage itself is very simple and straightforward, unlike bigger complex roles such as the Sage. Working with a smaller and simpler kit like this allows you to focus much easier on what needs to be done, without being overwhelmed as much as you can be on more complex roles. And if you are interested in getting into PvP, the White Mage is a prime starting choice. You get to support, stay ranged, and learn PvP from afar without jumping in on riskier roles such as tanks and melee. The first step you will notice is my position upon the cliff, and this is a good habit to get into. 1. There are pre-mates who enjoy flanking from up top, who then drop behind you on your own ice. And secondly, this gives me the chance to surprise attack on those rushing through the choke, which in this opening battle just happened to be the case. I engage this by striking hard and striking fast, then go right into my defensives. The idea was to slow their push, putting a stop to it if you will, casting Glare, Affletius and Seraph Strike together, dealing some good burst damage on those frontal targets. Following up with Aqua Veil and Stone Skin, we now have the opportunity to counter push. I take it slow, as if you look at my minimap, you can see just how many are obsessively still attacking the ice. With a better team by your side, you can expect those players to rush through the enemy team, claiming early battle high, before going back to finish the ice and then rotating out. In moments of light downtime, I throw out Cure 2s on allies, simply because if they are suddenly caught out, that one extra heal can be the difference between life and death. As the Immortals moved on in, I wanted to hold close, but again far too many are sat with the ice. Holding close is a much better way of defending. You defend by pushing back and engaging the enemy teams before they get anywhere near the objective, whereas engaging after you freely let them walk on in, at best results in them stealing score from your ice due to splash damage. You will notice by now that I am quote-unquote frontlining. This is due to the lack of tanks and melee roles, which means if someone does not take the lead, most of the time your team will just run away, and this gives me the chance to push the White Mage's boundaries, which too many players do not try. And I encourage you all to play more recklessly at times. Push your limits and see just what you can get away with. It helps you to learn a role, and more importantly teaches you situational awareness. You will look at a situation and say yes, that is winnable. Doing so, I found even alone I can make more aggressive plays, so long as there was some form of distraction. But if I am caught out alone, I would explode within seconds. Right now you can consider this as downtime. We do not need to leave, as mid is the next ice. All we need to do right now is prevent yellows from running in, chipping away while watching my team ready to support. My actual concern right now is whether or not blue will try to third party, and with some glances and checks of my minimap, they seem for now at least rather passive, so now I look for an opening to dive blue. I chose blue because I expect the yellows to do the same. Double teaming on the third team with no score and no battle height is very common. A great chance to boost my own battle high further. After a quick engage with the earlier combo, it seems that yellows have their eyes set upon us. So I fall back, Stone Skin the team ready to engage alongside. I could not have timed this better, as the perfect pile presented itself. Remember when I said abuse your limit break range? This is one such scenario. And whilst this limit break did not claim any kills, it does however set up regen and force out a good amount of MP from the adders. This means you now have the advantage. So position yourself ready to retreat but also ready to follow up, which as you can see, my team were able to pick off yellows caught out, with myself making one final risky play to finish off and steal credit from a yellow bard. Not necessary for those of you thinking, should I be doing this? I simply saw enough distraction and opportunity to claim an easy kill, while I was confident I would escape. in your own matches if you are not confident in making such plays, that is okay, stick to playing safe. You will find with time, you naturally make more risky plays. I am jumping ahead to the next chokehold, starting in a hold close position. I can see my Alliance Ninja in a tough spot. So I throw him heals, Stone Skin, and Aqua Veils, and I have two reasons for this. Firstly, there is a chance that he could escape. Secondly, look at the screen. Look at how much burst and CC they are exhausting to take down a single player. Stalling out my ally's death means counter-pushing will be met with much less resistance, which is why I confidently place myself as bait in the open, before diving onto a Bard. I chose that moment as my Limit Break was online. Right after casting my Limit Break, I guard up, baiting out even more whilst I self-regen. As guard ends, trigger your Aqua Veil. Now take a look at the results. The simple act of baiting and going from defensive to defensive cooldown, the Immortals were left in a situation where they had nothing left to give, and because I held close, they had no interaction with our ice. By the time both teams regroup at the choke, my team is ready to leave. You can see now from this engagement I hooked the wall. This allows you to go back and forth, breaking line of sights much easier and much faster. A key rule I learned while playing the White Mage: the less unnecessary poke damage you take, the longer you can resist pushes from the other teams, even both at once. The adders now take their chance to engage against us, in which I perfectly predict their White Mage Limit Break, guarding up to dodge and then granting Stone Skin to my Alliance for backing up, which helped result in few casualties for my team. And this battle is not yet over, as my team are now in a much healthier position. There is no reason not to continue our push, whilst I am myself close to another Limit Break. Our target of choice is obviously the Yellows catching up in second place, so again position close to your team for support and chip away at the enemy team. I do spot the chance to imp a Dragoon around the 50% health mark. 50% or lower is the sweet spot that almost always guarantees that target will die, followed by a Monk on critical health and having a 100 battle high. My Limit Break now can deal some serious damage. Notice I do not run up playing solo, as I cannot guarantee my team will back me up. So as we rotate on yellow, however, I waste no time, but I am keeping my eyes on that minimap for blue, turning back right as they get close. Starting with a red mage, wasting his Limit Break on 3 of us at full health. I already know from experience that the red mage has no escape, unless they are point blank to a target, getting close enough to imp if needed, but not so close that he could possibly escape. Next, my team fall back to the next ice, and this is where the beginning of the end starts. You will have noticed from the very beginning how ice-driven my team is, which in the long run is a bad thing. The longer a game goes on, the more battle highs both enemy teams obtain, making defense much harder if your team is still just licking ice. And this time around, the adders were ready with a much more aggressive push than last time. I Stone Skin and Aqua Veil ready, just before my Limit Break comes back online. However, with only 4 of us willing to take the fight as they walked in, I get obliterated by multiple Bahamut Limit Breaks. Thankfully, I landed my Limit Break just in time, securing 2 kills, and provided some extra pressure halting their advance. On the White Mage, do not worry should you die, as earning Battle High can be very fast for you. Overall right now, I feel the White Mage is in a very solid state, and has been ever since patch 6.1, with Imp receiving the much needed nerf it needed, and I have had a blast playing, either solo and as a group. If you want to see some duo play in action on my White Mage, be sure to catch my previous video, and if you are looking for a more in-depth guide, I shall be creating the advanced guide later in this week. Be sure to let me know down below with any tips you have for the White Mage. Enjoy the conclusion to this round, happy hunting, and I shall see you all in the next one.